India. After today's speech, I can also say Guardian of Mumbai High Court. My esteemed colleagues, Justice Person Nabi Varale and Justice Atul S. Chandurkar, distinguished judges of the Supreme Court of India, Justice Sri Chandrasekhar, Honorable Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Sri Eknath Shinde, Honorable the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Sri Ajit Pawarji, Honorable the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, distinguished judges from the Bombay High Court, Justice Shri Ram, Honorable former Chief Justice of the High Court, Honorable Ministers from the State of Maharashtra, Learned Advocate General Maharashtra, Learned Additional Solicitor General of India, distinguished senior advocates, very dear to me, the members of the Maharashtra Judicial Services, eminent jurists, most distinguished better halves of my own, my colleagues, and my brother and sister judges of the Bombay High Court, ladies and gentlemen, friends from media, I accept this felicitation with deep humility and gratitude. I say this at the very outset because experience tells me that honors of this nature are never merely personal. They are expressions of respect for the office one occupies and for the institution one serves. To be honored by the High Court of Judicature at Bombay, a court whose legacy has shaped the very constitutional consensus of this country, is therefore both a privilege and a responsibility. The Bombay High Court occupies a unique place in India's legal history. Long before independence, its courtrooms became arenas where idea of liberty, fairness, and restraint were argued with courage and sophistication. This court, over the 160 odd years of its existence, has given the nation some of the finest judges, some of its most formidable advocates, and some of its most enduring contributions to constitutional jurisprudence. Its traditions of intellectual rigor, professional civility, and institutional independence continue to set a benchmark for courts across the country and indeed, I may permit it to say, the entire globe. For anyone who has spent time within its precincts, the Bombay High Court is more than a building or a roster. It is a culture where advocacy is sharp but disciplined, where disagreement does not descend into disrespect, and where the dignity of the institution is preserved even in moments of contest or desperation. It is therefore particularly meaningful for me to stand here today in the company of eminent judges and some of the finest lawyers who are custodians of this grand tradition. Let me also say this candidly, friends, felicitation ceremonies are not, in my understanding, occasions for unqualified adulation. This adulation is conditioned with so many things. They are moments of pause, opportunities for reflection and dialogue between institutions that share a common constitutional perspective. They allow us to take stock of where we stand and to speak candidly about where we must go next as India approaches the centenary of its independence. I come to this court not as a visitor, but as someone whose own journey has been shaped by the bar and bench working together. Having spent nearly 2 decades practice at the bar, I remain acutely conscious that the administration of justice is never the work of judges alone. Courts function well when judges decide with clarity and advocates assist with preparation, candor, and restraint. Where this partnership is strong, justice gains credibility. Where it weakens, no amount of procedural reform can compensate. The Bombay High Court has historically exemplified this partnership. At the center of that legacy stands a bench that has consistently understood the gravity of its constitutional role. It is no coincidence that this court has given the nation more Chief Justices of India than any other High Court. That itself is not merely not merely to individual excellence, but to an institutional culture that prizes intellectual rigor, independence of mind, and disciplined restraint. This is how I appreciate when Sri Eknath Shindeji also spoke about the great achievements of this High Court in the past. Across generations, judges of this court have shown that authority is strongest when exercised with moderation, that independence is preserved through self discipline, and that public confidence is earned through consistency rather than display. Whether in moments of social change or constitutional uncertainty, the bench of this court has spoken with clarity and courage, allowing its judgment to command respect far beyond these historic walls which we had the privilege to visit today. This brings me to an issue I have spoken about often, and in fact, I will continue to speak about with conviction, namely the need to strengthen dispute resolution beyond the courtroom. In a legal system burdened by volume and complexity, the future of justice depends not on how efficiently we adjudicate disputes, but also on how wisely we resolve them. You see, mediation, conciliation, and arbitration are not alternatives of convenience, they are instruments of mature justice. They preserve relationships, reduce cost and delay, and allow courts to focus their energies where authoritative adjudication is truly required. The success of these mechanisms, however, rests largely with a proactive bench. When judges are open to explore alternative dispute resolution with seriousness and in their quest for true and holistic justice, they indeed help transform ADR from a peripheral option into a credible mainstream process. Members of the bar, too, in particular, play a decisive role in shaping this culture through true professionalism, mentorship, and example. For writing a successful story, the bench must remain responsive. Courts must create environments where mediation is encouraged, where settlement is facilitated without coercion, and where judicial authority is exercised with sensitivity to the human dimensions of conflict. In this shared endeavor, the Bombay High Court is well placed to continue leading by example. As we look ahead, the challenges before the justice delivery system are undeniable. Dockets are heavy, expectations are high, and technology is transforming how courts function and how citizens engage with law. These developments bring opportunity, but also lot of responsibilities. Technology must be used to simplify access, not to deepen divides. Speed must never come at the cost of fairness, and reform must always be guided by the constitutional values rather than administrative convenience. Through all the changes, one principle must remain constant, and that principle is of trust. Over the better part of the previous century, we have slowly but surely learnt that courts command authority not by force but by reason, and that they retain legitimacy not through visibility but through consistency. Let me also tell you that trust is built daily in how hearings are conducted, how lawyers are treated, how delays are explained, and how power is exercised. Ladies and gentlemen, trust is fragile, but once earned, it sustains institutions through periods of change. Before I conclude, allow me to express my sincere appreciation to Honorable the Chief Justice and his companion judges of the Bombay High Court for this gracious gesture, and to the distinguished members of the bar and judiciary whose warmth and professionalism have made this occasion so special. I especially thank Honorable the Deputy Chief Ministers and the entire state government of Maharashtra, also the judicial institutions, for recognizing the importance of an independent, effective justice delivery system in a constitutional democracy. My special thanks to Honorable the Deputy Chief Ministers for their commitment for the development and ensuring the requisite infrastructure in the state, including the new building of the High Court. And I am quite sure, as my brother Dipankar has spoken, they will also provide the adequate infrastructural facilities for the Kolhapur bench, besides giving due importance to the infrastructure in our session divisions at the district and taluka level. I am thankful that the budget allocation in the state of Maharashtra has been quite liberal, and the demands or requirements, in fact, I would use the word, for the by the state judiciary is adequately met with without any delay and in a most respectful manner. Lastly, I wish to say, very gently reminding you all, that justice is sustained not by the bench alone, nor by the bar alone, but by the collective discipline with which we discharge our respective roles. I accept this honor in that spirit, not as a conclusion, but as a reminder of the shared duty that binds us together. If we continue to walk this path with mutual respect and constitutional fidelity, our institutions will remain worthy of trust reposed in them by the people of this country. Sri Shinde and Sri Pawar have pointed out the requirements with respect to the Kolhapur bench. I can assure you, from my side, I will examine the issue and we take up with the quarters concerned, and from the Supreme Court, there shall be a consistent support to their cause. My distinguished brother, with whom I always enjoy my bench, and I keep on digging out the excuses to request him to sit with me. Justice Dipankar Datta has also pointed out an seemingly an anomalous situation. This must be a difficulty being experienced not only by brother and sister judges of the Bombay High Court, but virtually on pan-India basis, particularly the states where geographical areas are large, the distances are huge, and those states even might not be blessed with so many circuit and local benches as compared to Maharashtra. But Maharashtra's geographical distances, as my brother Dipankar has pointed out, has really made me convinced that this demand, which is not even a demand, which is only a modulation, a clarification, and a flexibility in terms of the facility already granted to my brother and sister judges. I think if it is to be resolved at my end, it will be done immediately. But if it is required to be done at the central government level, I will immediately take up the issue, and I am quite sure it will be resolved very soon. Once again, I am thankful to the Bombay High Court, to the state of Maharashtra, to all the functionaries and dignitaries who have invited me for this felicitation and given me this honor. I thank you, everyone. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, my lord, for your valuable insights and guidance. With this, we come towards the end of this momentous program. Gratitude is the noblest expression of the heart. On such an occasion of great magnitude, sometimes a simple thank you carries infinite meaning. On behalf of the entire Bombay High Court, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one present over here. Your dedication and efforts have been instrumental in making this program a success. Thank you. With the kind permission of the Honorable Days, I declare the program concluded. I respectfully request and invite all the honorable judges for a group photograph to be followed by lunch.
नमस्कार. सगळ्यांना जय महाराष्ट्र. Respected dignitaries on the dais and all the esteemed and honorable guests